Hopefully the chat will show up here soon. Hello everyone. Hello, don't panic if you're still here, and Connor and Megan, how is everyone doing? Joined right now by Infinipede. Oh, my. Joined right now. I always forget to turn, or I often, not always, but I often forget to turn off the sound on my phone when the stream starts. So. Yeah, so today we're going to be redesigning Cubone and Marowak, as well as Kangaskhan. And originally, when Infinipede and I were talking about, like, just kind of planning out how we would do these redesigns of this, like, years ago, at the time, I wanted to actually make Kangaskhan into an evolution for Cubone and Marowak, which is why we were always going to do them together anyway. But then, relatively recently, a year or two ago, I guess I changed my mind, and we had that leaked demo of Pokemon Green, or not a demo, beta of Pokemon Green that had an evolution for Marowak that also had like a baby in its pouch, and that just kind of cemented that these Pokemon are related, but not evolutionarily related. The one doesn't evolve into the other, but they do have connections, and so that's basically why I'm still doing these together. I want to I want to just kind of update the designs of Cubone and Marowak, because they are very good designs, Cubone especially, very good designs to start with. So just kind of update them a little bit, and then also find ways to kind of tie together the Cubone and Marowak and Kangaskhan family. So that's about it. I think the changes are going to be fairly small, maybe a little bit more significant on Kangaskhan, but yeah, I would be very happy to hear your ideas, if you have any ideas to change them more. And I just noticed my chat is once again not updating, but there we go. So Charon says that he forgot Alolan Marowak could be relevant. Yeah, like Alolan Marowak is very, very similar to regular Marowak, but there's some minor elements that we can look at.
Yeah, from what you've told me, I think the slimmer body could be relevant.
Yep, that's basically what I was thinking about. And I do like the mark on the forehead. I don't even really know what it's supposed to be representing on.
Could be like a flame. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
looks a little like a campfire.
Oh, I guess so.
I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. Maybe it's some kind of like Hawaiian-esque symbol. But
yeah.
It's a little like, you've got like a campfire with the logs and a little flame.
Yeah, no, I totally see it. But a lot of Pokemon that have markings on their foreheads, they're supposed to be like scars. Like Sharpedo, for example, the like yellow star is supposed to be a scar. And so I thought that, yeah, and so I thought maybe that's what that mark is supposed to be, like from headbutting things, but I don't know if Marowak is really known for headbutting things.
Does it learn headbutt? Sorry, am I too quiet? I moved my mic a little closer.
Oh, you're plenty loud for me, but maybe I need
sorry.
to.
Somebody said that they can't hear me that well.
How's that? Say something again.
Hello?
Yeah. That should do it. I had your volume set wrong. So.
I know I'm very loud, so you probably said it loud so that I'm not constantly screaming at the stream.
Yes.
Okay. So apparently I'm much more audible now. That's the word.
Good. Just catching up with the chat because it wasn't updated before, but will you try to make a baby Kangaskhan more grown like in the Mega? No, we're not creating any new Pokemon. We're not adding any stages. We're only redesigning these 3. I mean, and that does involve redesigning the baby Kangaskhan, but not as a separate Pokemon, just as an element of the Kangaskhan design. So.
Yeah, I kind of like that you've decided not to make them like a single line. I felt that was maybe a step too far from what we do with the project.
Yes, and nowadays I agree.
Well, I know you always wanted this line as your own designs, and I'm definitely like, I stepped back and I was willing to let you do whatever, but my input on it was always that they should be their own designs but related.
Yeah.
If you want to make them related, which you do, so, I mean...
Yeah, I just want to, because they are canonically related, it's just really vague how they are related.
Yeah, I never really, like, understood that theory until it was actually cemented with that demo.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
even before that, like, almost every place where you can find Cubone or Kangaskhan, you can find the other. With a few exceptions, but for example, one of those exceptions is Pokemon Tower, where the mother is dead anyway.
Yeah. The Dud has an interesting comment about other animals caring for different species or a symbiotic relationship. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I wondered that could actually be part of the lore, that, you know, Cubone or that Kangaskhan would raise a Cubone because it did lose its mother. But yeah, we're not really going to be looking at the lore itself. And Dadak was asking if we should have the Mega Kangaskhan artwork on here, and I didn't think it was necessary because the Mega Kangaskhan artwork is literally just Kangaskhan. Like
Gano has a good point though, that if we're looking at redesigning the baby along with the mother Kangaskhan, it might be good to have the full baby body art.
Well, that was the second part of what I was gonna say. That the baby, like, we're not redesigning the baby as its own thing.
Yeah.
So
no,
the baby
that.
is just a slightly juvenile form of what's already there. So like, I don't like the baby. The original baby is actually quite different from the adult. And I don't think it needs to be that different. I think it just needs to be like a tiny version of the adult.
I'd like it to keep the different coloration though. I kind of like that. Like the more pale coloration.
Yeah, like a slight change in color is fine, but not like purple.
Yeah, probably not purple, but pale or...
Yeah,
like,
and they have like completely different eyes.
You can interpret it as like it's almost camouflaged because the Kangaskhan's belly is a lighter color.
Right, I guess so.
So the baby against the belly of Kangaskhan, if the color is like more, if it's lighter, similar to the color of the belly. I don't know. I'm just talking to my ass.
Apparently there's some echo.
I'm sorry.
No, it's probably it isn't from you because I can't hear it. So it's definitely in my sound settings.
I'll let you tweak that while I work on this commission.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because I have you on too loud and my microphone is picking it up as well, or what it is.
Wear like headphones.
I never do though.
I know. That's I don't know. Yeah, it's probably I am too loud. But...
Okay. Well, let's try it like that, and I've turned it down. I can still hear you, but we'll see if that makes a difference. And so the inspirations that I'm looking at for these Pokemon are different species of kangaroo, and I've got photos of them here. I at some point I thought, oh, like maybe it'll be like a wallaby, a wallaroo, and a kangaroo. Those would be the 3 different animals to use. Except,
oh my god, the top one is so cute.
Yeah. So, but like the thing is that a wallaby, a wallaroo, and a kangaroo, they all look exactly the same, and it's not even like a distinction by species. It's literally just a distinction by size. So a smaller kangaroo could be called a wallaroo. So it's really confusing, and I decided against that. So instead, I'm using the top one there. That is a different but related species. That is a tree kangaroo. So it's much smaller, and it obviously climbs on trees, but it's also like very visually different. And I found out about this species because Bulbapedia suggests that Kangaskhan might be based on one, because it's like pudgier and it has big claws. And I don't know if I really buy that, because kangaroos have claws, have prominent claws too. But I still like the idea of using the smaller animal to base the bigger Pokemon on.
Yeah. I can see the body shape being more similar to that tree kangaroo.
Yeah. And I thought the patterns on the body would make a good parallel sort of for the body armor that Kangaskhan sort of has.
Definitely.
So, yeah, well, we'll work with that. I think I'm gonna just like do a rough sketch of Cubone, do a rough sketch of Marowak, and then do a rough sketch of Kangaskhan, and then we'll find ways that we can bring them all closer together, I guess.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Didac suggests that Marowak could have a vestigial pouch. I wasn't going to give it a vestigial pouch, but you know how it has the lines on the belly? I was basically only going to give it one line, and it would be at the pouch, like, height.
I like it.
So, not exactly a vestigial pouch, but still a nod to that, I guess. A wallaby, a wallaroo, and a kangaroo hop into a bar.
Ooh, that's a nice brush.
Mine?
Yeah.
It's just this, the one that I used just there was just the standard solid brush with with pressure fade. But
yeah,
I'm actually probably going to use this one.
You just have a lighter hand than I do.
Oh,
I have to,
maybe.
Like, be very... I have to be really, like, anal about, like, how I use my, when I'm using, like, a pressure-sensitive brush, I have to be really anal about how I use my hands, or else it doesn't work.
the like most important thing I think for making Cubone and Marowak more like kangaroos is the fairly exaggerated difference between like the bottom of the body and the top of the body.
Oh.
And a little bit of the pose as well. So making it kind of lean forward a little bit.
Oh my god, that might be a really, if that isn't something you want to do with the new 151 design, that would be an awesome thing for like a Mega or G-Max or Evolution, Fakemon Evolution of Marowak, Bone Shaku. I would love to see that on something.
What is that?
Like nunchaku, like nunchucks.
Oh, nunchucks. Yeah. Okay.
Bones.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't going to change the kind of weapon. Like I'm still thinking of it as a bone club. But I was thinking of a different bone because it's supposed to be a boomerang, right? So.
Oh yeah.
I thought that a rib bone.
I was gonna say like a rib. Like
yeah,
rib.
An exaggerated rib bone would actually be more fitting.
I think it would be cool if like Cubone had like a little rib, and Marowak had like a big, maybe like a very curved like scapula kind of thing. So it's like. Now that it's an adult, it's got like the bigger, heavier bone.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I was thinking actually was maybe instead of having just like spikes on the skull, to basically have holes where the ears would be and have more kangaroo-like ears that are, because they're quite long, right? Have those sticking out from underneath the skull. But I don't know if that's maybe too different.
I think the ones you just put in might be a little too long. But
oh yeah, no,
like
we can make it shorter, but
ears.
yeah, and I definitely have to adjust proportions of other things on here as well.
Yeah.
But just the idea of it.
The idea of ears coming out of the skull.
Yeah.
And
I've not just now realized. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe it could be like how with Cubone, the eyes are in holes in the skull, while with Marowak they're like completely fused into the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with Marowak it turns into like horns. I don't know. Or like the ears are part of the skull.
But on Cubone, they aren't.
Yeah, but on Cubone, they're coming from holes in the skull.
Head needs to be fairly exaggerated in size, as always, because it's supposed to be a baby.
That's a baby.
Oh, and for the eyes, I was thinking kind of like Alistair, gym leader from Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just like, it's dark back there, but sometimes you can see his kind of purple eye in there. So that's basically what I had in mind for Cubone as well.
That was my one regret not getting a shield, was I got a different gym leader. Not that I dislike her, but like, Alistair's adorable.
Yeah, I honestly had no preference between Sword and Shield or the gym leaders.
I went with Shield just because, you know, I've been waiting my whole life for like a Farfetch'd evolution, and I'm like, or Sword, I mean. And I'm like, you know, I need Farfetch'd in my life. I remember years ago on PMF, you're like, oh, Farfetch'd is never going to get an evolution because it's a joke.
Yeah. and Farfetch'd never did get an evolution. It had to get a regional form first.
You didn't specify. I mean, not that you could, because
that was before the idea of regional forms existed.
Yeah, but still, I feel like I won that one.
I mean, I didn't realize that we still had arguments from 15 years ago going, but yeah, I guess you did.
I mean, sometimes I just think about stuff like that. You know, I'm a very argumentative person. So, you know, sometimes I'll think of arguments I had 15 years ago and be like, oh, well, I won that argument like 15 years later.
Did I draw the ears on 2 separate layers? That was smart of me. I usually don't. I'm not usually that smart. Usually I draw things on the same layer and then I'm like, ah, crap, I need to change it.
I draw so much on a single layer. I really shouldn't.
Kanto says that I thought the idea of an evolution was pretty far-fetched.
Hey.
Will Alolan form be getting a redesign too? No. No, the Alolan form is there as a reference for what we might want to do with Marowak. But no, we are... Basically, the concept of this project is what if these same concepts for the same ideas for Pokemon had not been introduced back then and were instead being introduced now, what would be different about them? And so there wouldn't be a regional form because it would just be the original. But elements from the regional form may make it onto the redesign.
Yeah, like I know we've talked about like possibly just for fun doing like some of the older evolutions and stuff to some of the first gen.
Yeah, if in a post New 151 era.
Which we'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
One day. But like yes, we will get there, but also we started this in 2016.
Hey, we have a schedule now. We have like an actual schedule.
Yeah, and yes, and we are actually making progress fairly quickly compared to what we were doing in the beginning. Like in the beginning we did, I don't know, 6 or 7 lines in fairly quick succession, and then it was just like nothing. I think we had a span eventually of like 7 months or something without posting anything.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know. I didn't keep track. And then like the sprites just became so difficult. Like I still want to finish them someday, but I don't even know how I did like 64 by 64 stuff back in the day with like mixes and stuff, because it feels so restrictive. But I would just love for them to be in like a hack. I just want someone to just hack, out like fire red, leaf green, and just stick them in there. So it's a project I want to finish.
Yeah, what I've thought of is that it would be interesting, kind of weird and sort of going against the idea of the project in the first place, but it would be interesting to do a Gen 1 hack, like a Pokemon Yellow hack with the new designs, even though it would be even more restrictive to make them fit in 56 pixel boxes.
They'd probably end up looking like the sprites from Green, like all super wonky, but that might be a fun project too.
Yeah.
Like the poses would just be like, you know, the old Charizard where he's just like, ugh! I can't describe it.
Yeah, no.
Where he's like, looks like he's freaking like dancing. I can't, I don't even know how to describe that Charizard.
No, but I know which sprite you mean, so.
Yeah, and he looks like he's like Kamehameha or something. Like a fireball.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Blouse says that the current design reminds them of Loxton's Lemming Pokemon, which I don't think I've seen. I thought I thought I'd watched all of
those videos because I follow Loxton and Noggin, and I'm pretty interested in Fake Mon. I just haven't gotten around to watching those videos.
Yeah, no, I thought I had watched all of them, but maybe I haven't. Maybe I missed one. Or maybe there's one that's just still sitting in my watch later kind of thing. Because my watch later tends to get very, very long.
Oh god, mine is forever. I have so much in there that I haven't watched.
I don't let mine become forever because my watch later is my primary way of watching videos. I just add them to watch later, and then eventually when I have time to spare, then I just watch everything.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so it doesn't get terribly long, but it can get several hours kind of long, which is still a fair bit.
A bit longer than you'd like.
Oh yeah, for sure. So this is still very rough. We still change this at the next stages, but I just wanted to do a sort of cleaner version of it just to make it clearer what I intended with it instead of it just being lines all over the place. So. Did the music stop and is just not playing anymore?
There's no... Well, actually, no, I don't have my thing on. I don't know.
No, I can see that it is still playing. Is it just that I can't hear it?
I don't know, did you mute?
I think it... And no, I think it is. It's just really low.
Oh.
I could hear it fine before, but maybe because I turned down the volume to hopefully reduce the echo. Maybe just because of that, now I can't hear it anymore. Okay, the skull is probably too long, even though kangaroos do have fairly long heads.
Yeah, I think it is a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that length looks good.
Okay. Oh, and someone suggested doing a tear motif on
I like
Cubone.
it. I like having a little sad thing coming out of the corner of the eye socket.
Yeah, but so what I had in mind is that because the Cubone skull has a crack on it, right? So my idea at least was to turn the crack into tears.
Oh, that'd be cool. I like that. He's a sad boy.
Yeah.
This commission's hard because this guy wants well, it's not super hard, but I've never drawn Cloister before. It's hard. Well, except for new 151 Cloister.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants the Cloister to look smug, and he says, I know Cloister already looks really smug. Just make it more smug than before. And I'm looking at this Cloister how the hell do I do that? What am I supposed to do? I think I got it, but it's very it's a very interesting request.
Make the smug Pokemon look more smug. You'd think that was easy, but not always.
Very difficult. It looks like he should be on a DreamWorks movie poster.
Alright, so there you go. Adjustments pending, but there you go. That's Cubone. Now, Marowak, obviously it needs to be more mobile, or at least that's how I think of it. It needs to be more mobile, so it'll still be Kangaroo, but instead of basically standing with its entire foot, with its heel on the ground, it'll be more like various anthropomorphic animal Pokemon like Lucario, where walking on their toes. Yeah. Mobile whack. This redesign is awakening our inner emos. Not all of us have inner emos. Some of us have outer emos. Or both, you know.
Yeah, some of us never left our emo phases.
I never had like a proper emo phase, like, you know, wearing makeup and all that kind of stuff, but at least my phase of enjoying emo music never left.
Yeah, no, some emo music's really good.
I wouldn't even say some, I would say most.
It depends.
Okay, most of what I've heard. I really like this pose with it like swinging the bone club forward, but I kind of feel like it might be difficult to communicate the differences because of the foreshortening. So like the legs will kind of get lost, and it'll just end up looking like, I don't know, Bugs Bunny.
What about the current pose, but like change the arm that holds the bone?
Yeah, the arm in the back.
Anyway.
Yeah, the arm in the back looks weird anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, we could put the bone on the front one.
It's worth a shot.
And put an arm just hanging out somewhere. And I think the Marowak skull, like, it can be different, but to me, it still needs to look like it's wearing a skull to a degree, rather than it just, like, being, you know, the mask.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it is a bit like the mask if you think about it. Does that make Cubone son of the mask?
I guess so.
I don't even know how you like drew cloister.
Well, it wasn't easy.
Yeah. I don't even remember how I did the redesign.
Well, I struggle with drawing just about everything.
Oh, same.
So.
I haven't done much digital art lately. I've been just doodling.
Like, I even struggle with doodling. Like, I don't know how to doodle. Doodling is a skill that I never learned.
Recently, I was at my mom's for Christmas, and I was like super bored, and I forget how the conversation started, but a friend of mine is getting into Danganronpa, courtesy of me and the Game Grumps streaming it. And I was like, we were joking about like a fan fan classes, and I'm just like, I'm gonna make the ultimate bard, who's just like a bardcore musician. And then she was like, make him play the hurdy-gurdy, and I had to look up like, how do you draw a hurdy-gurdy? So, and I still couldn't draw it, you know? I had to look up a hurdy-gurdy to try and draw a hurdy-gurdy, and I couldn't draw a hurdy-gurdy.
I don't even know what hurdy-gurdy is, so...
It's a musical instrument. It's like a string instrument, but you use buttons to make the bow, like, go down, I think. It's like an old instrument, but...
Okay.
Do you like System of a Down? I feel like you like System of a Down.
I do.
There's a really good cover of Toxicity by someone who plays the hurdy-gurdy on YouTube. You should look it up after we're done with this, or I should link it to you, I think.
Okay.
But it's such a good cover.
Hang on, I'm gonna cheat. Because I am struggling with this skull shape, this skull position.
Trace that one there.
Yep.
Don't worry, I cheat like that all the time. I use Design Doll for my references a lot because I can never find the exact pose I need. And I just like trace over the skeleton.
I cheat like this all the time too. I try not to, but you know, eventually I'm just like, I have spent too much time trying to get this right, and I have failed to get this right. So.
Oh yeah, sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Christmas gift for.
Wow, so early.
Well, what happened was I went to give I was waiting on the gift for Banana Meteor to come in the mail, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I actually went to my mom's, I was like, okay, well, I'll mail your gift afterward. And then I feel so bad, I forgot that that they had a friend living with them. And I'm like, I would feel awful if I sent a gift to, Julie and Frankie and then forgot the gift for April. So I'm like, all right, I gotta draw April something really sick, and in case April is in here, I'm not saying what it is, but it will be awesome. But I'm thinking like, oh my god, this pose is gonna be such a pain in the ass to do without using like Design Doll.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like an ass for forgetting April lived with them, but it was also like that happened after I moved away from that area, so like I feel like okay,
yeah.
Forgetting kind of makes sense because I haven't been back there in a while.
You don't see them as regularly anymore?
Yeah, I don't see them much at all because I'm like 2.5 hours away, and then I wasn't able to see them over Christmas because Julie was sick.
Yep, right.
And then now my neighbor who I hung out with on New Year's Eve, me and my friend Mark, hung out with on New Year's Eve, she's like, oops, I was exposed to COVID on the 28th, and I'm like, So now I'm quarantining for the most part. I had to go out and get medication, because I was out on one of my psych meds, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not technically quarantined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now I've got like all these board games coming in the mail that I ordered. I'm just like, oh, I can't play these without you. It's like,
you will eventually. You will eventually.
Oh, I know. And a couple of them have solo mode, so I've been playing like the solo mode for role player, and that's a lot of fun. But like, I'm not whipping out like every single component of Scythe just to play the solo mode of Scythe when I have like the digital version. So I've just got this big box with all these minis and meeples and stuff in it, and I'm just like, I really want to play this game, but it's gonna be another week.
I don't think I've ever heard of a board game that had a solitaire mode.
A lot of them do now. It's become a lot more common. Like, I think because I only got into the hobby like last year, most of the games I have like a solitaire mode, and a lot of them, like the solitaire mode is really fun because I really like games like puzzly board games. Like one I have is called Calico, and you're making a quilt out of these hexagonal tiles and trying to get little cats to sit on it.
Okay.
It's adorable. And in that game, you're not interacting with the other players a ton while you play, aside from maybe sometimes taking the tiles other players want for their quilts. And the solo mode is really similar to the multiplayer mode in that sense. And that one has like little achievements and stuff in it, so you can play it solo and be like, oh, I'm gonna do the scenario and the achievements, and try to, you know, get a better score than last time. So that's fun. But I've also been playing a lot of, it's called Roll Player, ROLL Player.
Okay.
And it's a really interesting concept, because it's basically like, you're not adventuring, you're just making like your D&D character.
Oh, okay.
But it's really fun.
So you just make your character, and then what? Nothing?
That's the game. You make your character by you're rolling dice and putting them in different stats, and you're trying to get certain numbers and certain stats. And you can use like different abilities and cards that you buy to change what numbers on the dice, and you're trying to get like certain colors in certain locations and make sure that your alignment matches up to the card you're dealt at the beginning of the game. It is way fun. Like I played it once, and then I got like both of the expansions because I love it so much.
I enjoy board games, but I don't play them a lot because Indigo, my wife, she doesn't like board games.
Ow.
And like I'm not super huge on them. I enjoy playing them. Of course, it depends on like who you're playing them with. But because she doesn't like it, we don't have any. So yeah, it's very few occasions when actually play any kind of board game.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't into them for the longest time because, you know, my experience was like Monopoly, but not even like Monopoly. It was a Schenectady, New York version of Monopoly that my grandparents had. And then, you know, people would be over in the corner playing Catan at like Julie's parties, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm not into board games.
Yeah.
And then I got invited over to my neighbor's house one night, and they had Terra Mystica, and I'm like, this is board games? So it was actually like, oh, I actually like this. I feel like the legs might be a bit too long.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
I care about seeking Didac.
I can't say I care about seeking too much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care a ton, but I like seeking.
As a design, or like as a Pokemon to use, or what?
A little bit of both. I like that it's just a derpy looking goldfish, because goldfish are, like, fancy goldfish can be really derpy looking. And it's like perfect in that sense. I'm really looking forward to redesigning Seeking. That's one of the ones where I have like a bunch of concepts, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with them.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think I would have any idea. It's just like, It's Seeking. I think Seeking looks alright as it is, actually. Like, it is very simple.
Yeah.
It's just a fish with a horn, and, you know, maybe there could be some kind of design element to kind of justify the horn conceptually, but that's about it.
I think you don't even need too much of a concept to justify the horn. Like, I'm thinking you could definitely tweak it a bit to sort of work as, you know, there's like the Aranda goldfish and the Ranchu goldfish and like the pearl scale lion head, those goldfish that have like those weird hoods. Or like lumps on their head, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking if you could make the horn a little like that, maybe give it like multiple horns.
So someone in the chat a while ago had suggested giving it a shield, a bone shield.
Huh.
So, yeah, I'm not sure, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, I'm not sure. It's a bit of a departure from the regular design, but it is kind of cool.
I think it makes it more like a sword and shield kind of thing, as opposed to the bone being a boomerang. But I don't know if there's, like, I don't know very much about Australian Aborigine culture, so I don't know if there would have been, you know, something shield-like. Oh yeah, actually that's something else I wanted to mention. Like, I thought about making a reference, like, with the color, maybe, to Aborigine, like, body paint.
Oh yeah.
But so it would be kind of like Cubone Marowak, right, in that it has a very dark fur color, but it has some markings on it that are white. But I feel a little bit uneasy about doing something that's like a very obvious reference to specifically to an indigenous culture, and I don't know it well enough to be sure that I'm doing it respectfully. So I decided against that.
Personal issue when I designed a character who was like, he was like an alien who lived in essentially a Australian colony on another planet.
Okay.
And I wanted to kind of do like body paint that was inspired by like Aboriginal body paint. Mm-hmm. What I ended up doing was just like markings, you know? So I think just plain markings. Just...
Yeah.
I think as long as you don't go too, like, in-depth with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet if it would be worth it. But the other thing that I considered is putting more bones on Marowak, like it decorates itself with bones or something.
Yes, that would be cool.
So that would be another way to just kind of add some details to the design. And because we are creating a parallel with Kangaskhan, and Kangaskhan has this sort of armor on it, maybe Marowak's placement of bones reflects the placement of Kangaskhan's armor. Just something to create a little bit of create a parallel between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure about the shield, but other than that, I think this works. Is there anything else that I should put on here? Like, I guess I can just put the bone necklace on here right now. And the rest, I guess, will depend on what we do with Kangaskhan for the specific placement. So. Yeah, the pouch reference, but that I'll do on the next, on the cleaner layer of this, so. Hey Connor, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm glad that you're liking it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I actually noticed recently, like, I know that in the past, like, we've gotten super chats before, but I noticed recently that my streams were set to not monetized, or like to like monetization off, not like monetization disabled. Like, I didn't turn it on, and I was like, when did I change this?
I was a little worried because I was like, oh no, is it my swearing?
No, and I do, because it tells me to kind of self-identify if there's going to be any issues, anything that might, you know, turn away an advertiser, including strong language, and I do...
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no, that's fine, because I do tell them that there may be light profanity after the intro, and that actually doesn't affect your monetization status.
Okay,
so that,
good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't come out, like, saying crazy stuff right in the intro. I just say...
No. You wait a little bit.
Yeah, I typically do. Hey, Megan, thanks for the super chat.
Thank you, Megan. These two have been super chatting a lot recently, and they are patrons, so...
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. Thank you. And I don't know if you saw, but for New Year's, I opened a gift from some patrons, and it was them.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did that on stream, yeah. Our first bit of fan mail. I just came back, what did I miss, and where's the shield from? The shield may not stay, but it was just something that someone suggested that I thought was worth trying at least.
Yeah, I feel like my opinion on the shield is it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, it works visually, or like it fits.
Yeah.
But it's also maybe a bit too much, and...
It's like, I like it, but I don't think it should stay.
Yeah.
Like, it's something I would personally put on maybe a Fakemon of mine, but not on, like, a redesigned official. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. And Megan, again, look at that. Had an idea. So what if the shield was a spine and ribs, and then one of the ribs took off as the bone boomerang? So it's like an entire rib cage minus one.
I feel it might be a bit complex to draw as just a single part of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it would have to be really simplified.
It could be like that bone in the center, which I'm blanking on the name of.
The sternum?
Yeah, the sternum. I like it better as like a scapula, though. Kind of like what you have now.
Yeah. Well, it's worth trying a different one, a different version of it, but I fear that because of how simplified it would have to be, that it would also make it more cartoony than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because it would be like a cartoon rendition of a rib cage.
Yeah, that would be... Like, I mean, I have a Fakemon that's just this big old skeleton ghost, and that's even pushing it.
No, Yeah, and recent Pokemon have been a lot more cartoony
Yeah.
than they used to. So going a little bit cartoony is definitely not a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure you could definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things where I just have to take a quick break from it, and then I can look at it later with fresh set of eyes, you know.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I've made the guy wait because I thought I was gonna work on it at my mom's, but I could not get my mouse to work on my laptop. I got it to work before. It sucked. It didn't work.
Yikes.
I mean, the laptop's one of those that kind of converts into a tablet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the super skinny legs, like at least the calves, you know, the super skinny calves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit iffy on those. Like I'm fine with the area from the, you know, heel to the toes being really skinny, but like right now the calves are kind of skinnier than that, and it's a little
I don't think the photo that I got as a reference really shows it too well.
yeah.
But have you seen how skinny the calves of a kangaroo are?
I mean, I understand that the kangaroo itself has the skinny calves. Yeah, they're very skinny, but like, I don't know. I feel like maybe thickening them up a bit might be in the best interest of the design itself, especially compared to OG Marowak, who has those very thick legs. Like, not that it needs to be super similar to OG Marowak, just that.
Maybe, yeah, because I don't want to make him like muscular, right?
Oh no, it
so
doesn't.
like,
It doesn't need to be. Just maybe a little.
because if it was like more human-esque, it would be like this basically. Obviously, I've exaggerated it here.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I feel like it's just a bit too thin.
yeah, so I don't want to make it like muscular, but maybe I can make them wider.
Like it doesn't need to be like that. Just maybe like a little
bit wider.
Yeah. Other people are saying that making them a little shorter too. I know you already made them shorter.
I did make them shorter from what it started as.
Yeah.
I can try making it a little bit shorter still. But because I want it to be a kangaroo, I do feel that it needs to be very leg heavy.
Yeah, okay. I like the thickening of the legs. Hi, Kangaroo Pendant. We are doing Cubone Marowak and Kangaskhan.
That is my wife. Hi. Hi, honey. Yeah. I don't know if I would want to make them shorter. I actually quite like the proportions.
Yeah. Honestly, I think... somebody did mention they're kind of insectoid.
What is?
The legs. The thinness is almost insect-like, but...
I guess I could emphasize that, like, that kind of dent in the middle of the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right now it looks like it's a bit like a cartoony, like, when you see, like, a drumstick, like a chicken drumstick on, like, a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a little like a chicken drumstick.
Yeah. But the thing is that is what kangaroo legs look like. They are very drumsticky.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
where does that balance lie?
Yeah, that's something you'll just have to play with.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I will play with the proportions a little bit more later on. Let me draw Kangaskhan, and then we can figure out what ways we need them to be more similar to each other, and then you know, there may be proportions being adjusted there, and so on.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, the Turks, I was the same way. I didn't buy into the theory until the beta stuff.
Yeah. For me, it's that really solidified it. The interesting thing is that I got really lucky actually, because the week that leak came out, that beta came out, yeah, I was working on a video about Cubone and Kangaskhan. And I was looking at basically looking at the old artwork, the artwork that you see here, to try to work out how they might be related, because obviously some things have changed over time, but the idea was just like looking at how they were originally designed, so original artwork, original sprites, that kind of thing. Can we figure out in what ways they are related? And I think I was already pretty much in the conclusion that they were related but didn't evolve into each other. And then we had that, and then there was the Guardia, right? The Marowak evolution that was more like a Kangaskhan, but Kangaskhan also existed at the same time, so it was clear that they weren't the same Pokemon. And even though it was only the back sprite, it looked like Guardia had a baby Cubone with the skull and everything in its arms. So that was like, okay, they are definitely related, but they don't evolve into each other. But on top of that, you have the motherhood theme and the Australian theme, with the Kangaskhan being kangaroo-like, and Marowak and Cubone having the bone meringue, right? So it was clear that there was something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy with the way that Marowak is going. I'm happy with the way that Cubone looks, although it might need some more adjustment, particularly in the head, I think. But Marowak I'm actually quite happy with. So let's move on to Kangaskhan. And this is actually the one that I figured out the least of what I wanted it to look like. Like I said before, I do want to base it on the tree kangaroo. So it's got that. It's the pudgier, it's furrier, I guess, and the shape of the face is also a little bit different. But it is still, it isn't as closely related as the various species of kangaroo, wallaroo, wallaby. Those are all very closely related species, and the only differences are size. The tree kangaroo is farther removed, but still closely related. So.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I forgot this cloister's wearing the King's Rock, and that's why it's so small.
The cloister is wearing a King's Rock?
Yeah, because it's skill linked cloister.
Oh, are you drawing like someone's team?
Just the cloister. They commissioned, they just want a cloister with King's Rocks. It's like their favorite competitive Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Is like skill link cloister that just flinches things. It's an interesting commission. They asked, you know, oh, do you draw like canon Pokemon? I'm like, not often, but I will.
Yeah.
And then the other commission I got is, it's a Magic the Gathering card, called Hedron Crab, as a stained glass window.
As a stained glass window. Oh, crap. I'm drawing all of it on the same layer again. It was bound to happen.
It's a friend of mine who is, really likes, that's like one of his favorite Magic cards. And there's an entire group for like that Magic card and another one called Ruin Crab, which is basically just a better Hedron Crab. Called like the Church of the Crab or something.
Okay.
He wants a stained glass window with the card design on it to show to this Church of the Crab, or whatever it is. Like, I like Hedron Crab, it's a good card, but I don't like Hedron Crab that much.
I know very little about Magic, so.
It's a crab that's picked up like a, what's the best way to describe it? Like a weird relic.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a hermit crab, and it's got like spines on it, and he's picked up some like funky old crystal-looking relic. He's holding it.
All right, I will just assume that makes sense.
I mean, he's found it in the ocean, and it's interesting.
You know, I was trying to do the pose from the middle Kangaskhan there, but I don't know how well it's gonna work.
Interesting.
It's just like the artwork from, I think this was for Blue. It's the middle ones that I have for all three of them. I think they're all from Blue. They're all so much more dynamic.
They really are.
Right? The artwork that Sugimori did for Red and Green is so static.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go for more of that, and a lot of the more recent, a lot of the like official art that came after from Generation 3 onward is also very static. Although nowadays more of them are a little bit more dynamic. But
yeah.
So I was trying to use that.
I would go with the Fire Red Leaf Green pose personally, just because like the middle one looks like she's in a school dance where they're playing like YMCA. She's trying to do the YMCA.
Well, all right, fine. I won't do that one. I see it more as it like.
If you want, it's just a little. It's a little funny looking. Like I don't know what she's doing.
Well, I always thought of it as using a move like maybe Stomp, or
I guess
or Earthquake.
Maybe if you like kept the feet, but like repositioned the arms a little, like bent one of the arms.
Yeah, because I definitely think that the Gen 3 artwork, that one makes it look like it's dancing, kicking its feet out like that.
Maybe keep the feet from the blue pose, right? And then use like the bent arms from the Fire Red Leaf Green pose. Or like one of the bent arms, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, she looks like she like doesn't have elbows. Just, as always, just my onion, though. Oh, Maturks mentioned that one arm going downwards might give it a nice stomping line of action. That's interesting. Or like, maybe upwards, but a little more bent. I don't think you need to scrap the whole thing, though. I think the...
It's okay, I already did.
No! Undo!
No, it wasn't looking right. Like, even if I still use this pose, I think I need to start over anyway.
Okay, fair enough. But I think combining, like, the legs of one and the arms of another, might be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to sort of, not exactly trace, but I'm going to take the parts of the pose from the two that I think are worth using. And then, because anatomically this one is also quite different from, or my idea for it is also quite different from the original, in terms of, like, the proportions of the legs. All three of these Pokemon, like, they have thighs and feet, and that's it.
Yeah, they don't
right?
have knees or...
Yeah,
like,
no
ankles.
knees, no calves, they only have thighs and feet. So... And this is something that a lot of the old Pokemon did, and that I don't like. So
it really messed up my my art, honestly, for such a long time, just drawing a lot of Pokemon. Like, it became very hard to draw things with, like, knees.
Yeah.
and calves and ankles. No need for knees.
It especially bothers me, though, in Pokemon that are said to be fast.
Oh, like, yeah, we've had this discussion with, like, Sandslash.
Yeah, exactly. Sandslash is exactly what I was thinking of.
It has no knees.
Yeah. How does it move quickly, hobbling around?
How does it run? It makes me think of when Julie and I, like, used to do this thing called Little People, where we'd, like, tuck our knees inside our shirts and, like, waddle around.
I think everyone's done that. Well, I mean, I don't know about kids these days, but
yeah, I don't know if kids these days would be entertained by it, but we do that and we go, Little People. And, like, that was the whole thing. And her mom got so mad. See, I can tell these strange stories because she's not here right now. But her mom got so mad, she's like, "You're gonna stretch out your shirts, don't do it anymore."
That was the concern? The problem was just, I was gonna stretch out your shirts?
Yeah, it's gonna stretch out your shirt. I did get it. Somewhere there exists a movie I made for music class called Super Mozart, where my friend Craig was Super Mozart, and there were people who had these problems that Super Mozart would come and solve, but only if those problems were wanting to know about the life of Mozart. And Julie was one of the people with that problem, but she was like, she had no knees. She tucked her knees in her shirt.
Just for the heck of it?
Yeah. I probably asked her to do it because I thought it was hilarious. But...
Yeah, but, like, it didn't play into her character or anything like that.
No, she was just, like, she didn't have any knees. She was just... Yeah, and she put her shoes, like, on... She still had her shoes on, you know? So she was just, like, shoes, like, in a shirt with a head. And she really wanted us to know about the early life of Mozart.
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
I mean, yeah. I did, I guess, because I liked it enough to do a report on it.
Yeah, but, like, what kind of person with with short legs wouldn't want to know about the life of Mozart. It makes perfect sense to me.
I mean, probably Cotton Hill, but Didac, we're talking about my project from music class I did in middle school. This is unrelated, except to Pokemon that don't have knees.
Do you think Sandslash and Marowak are interested in the early life of Mozart, considering they have very short legs?
I think maybe Marowak is, but probably not Sandslash.
Oh, not Sandslash.
No.
Sandslash don't like classical music?
Yeah, I was thinking Marowak. Marowak probably likes, like that haunting classical music.
Oh, yeah, fair.
It's got like a bone and it's wearing a skull on its head. Some arias and some dirges and some choirs, like creepy Latin music.
Yeah.
It's like monks chanting. Sandslash probably likes metal.
Or punk.
Or butt rock, because it's Sonic. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Butt rock?
It loves that Crush 40.
Butt rock?
Yeah, butt rock is stuff like, like Sonic the Hedgehog music, Nickelback, Linkin Park. Butt rock.
Okay. I never expected Linkin Park and Nickelback to be classified together, but that's okay. I like both of them. I know you're not supposed to like Nickelback, but I think Nickelback is fine. I love Linkin Park.
There's nothing wrong with liking butt rock. Like, I unironically like a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog music.
Yeah, that I don't know, because I know very little about Sonic the Hedgehog, so.
Yeah. I unironically like pretty much most of the music from Sonic Adventure 2, especially the Knuckles raps. Those are like actually really legit. Like, oh, they're stupid, but they're really good.
But Linkin Park is definitely one of my top 3 bands. So you can't diss Linkin Park on a under a labor stream.
I wouldn't say I dislike them. I just don't really listen to them. I liked them as a kid, and then when they became like, oh, haha, Linkin Park, I was like, oh yeah, Linkin Park isn't very good. And now I'm just like, you know what? They're okay. It's like, it's not the kind of music I would listen to, but if somebody puts on Linkin Park, I'm not gonna diss it. It's fine.
They are fantastic. In my opinion, at least, if you haven't listened to their album A Thousand Suns, you can't say anything bad about them because you don't know literally their masterpiece. So, and I'm not saying that that's your case. I'm just saying that it's the case of a lot of people.
You'll have to send me like some songs from
that. I will.
Top 3 of anything is really hard because it's like you've got your number 1, and then a lot of times you got your number 2, and then it's like, what's the third one? Like, if someone asks for my top 3 Pokemon, I could definitely give you my number 1 or number 2, but I can't give you anything else. I mean, I can give you maybe a solid number 3, but somebody asked for my top 5 the other day, and I'm just like, okay, I can do 1, 2, and 3, but after that, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, I would have to do, like, if you're asking me Pokemon, I can say Umbreon, and then I can say a whole bunch of other Pokemon that I like, without committing to an order, necessarily.
Yeah, I also can't commit to an order. I can give you Tangrowth, Scolipede, Magcargo, and beyond that, it's, like, super fuzzy.
Yeah. But for music, I can comfortably say that my top 3 are not necessarily in this order, but I like these 3 bands basically better than anything else, and that's Pink Floyd, Linkin Park, and Nightwish.
Okay.
So, I like those are my top 3. I don't know which one would be my top 1, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's a lot of other bands that I can also say I like this, but I can't necessarily commit to an order.
See, I'm the opposite, where I can say,
Hey Megan, thank you for yet another super chat. Megan made crab wontons. She's very happy.
Oh, that sounds delicious, and I want them, even though I just had like shrimp ramen.
How are you going to share? That is the question, Megan. How are you going to share this with the rest of us?
Now share with the rest of the group. Yeah, I'm the opposite way with music, where I can say for absolute certainty my favorite band is the Deer Hunter still.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't give you much beyond that. Like I can say like, okay, I like Coheed and Cambria, I like Porcupine Tree, I like the Decemberists, like, but you know, I could give you like a bunch of band names, but I couldn't commit to like a top 3, maybe a top 5. I might be able to commit to a top 5.
Yeah, Coheed and Cambria is definitely up there for me.
So good.
And the other two, Porcupine Tree and the Deer Hunter, I think you introduced me to both of them, and I do like both of them very much, but I haven't really like kept up with new releases from them, so
if you haven't listened to as for the Deer Hunter, Act 4 or Act 5, I think those are like 100% their best works. Like Act 4, so good. Like, I'd say that's my favorite album by them. Act 5, also absolutely amazing.
I will check it out. I think I may have, like, added newer albums from both of them to, like, my YouTube Music library, but I don't think I've, like, which means I may have listened to individual songs from those albums, but I don't think I've listened to them as albums.
I feel like you might really like the song "Wait" by the Deer Hunter. That was I heard that one live. I sat right behind Nick Crescenzo, the drummer. That was like a religious experience. It was so good hearing that live.
Megan has sent another super chat and says, Connor says no more super chats, but I don't care. Well, I'm certainly not going to stop you, but certainly, you know, make sure you're not overspending.
Yeah.
That's all. I can't judge whether you are overspending. Just make sure you're not.
Yeah. Just don't be like me and spend like all your money on stuff. I'm so bad.
Well, you should spend all of your money on stuff, although some of that stuff is probably...
You know what I mean. Don't spend all your money on, like, Kickstarters for board games that aren't coming out until, like, 2022.
That's fair. Man, I would support, like, if I wasn't trying to, you know, be responsible with money and, like... save up for eventual, you know, not having to work. If not for that, I would spend so much money on like Patreons and Kickstarters and stuff.
Oh god, yeah. I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget. It's like, I mean, basically the government pays me because I have so much trouble getting a job. And keeping a job. So. Like, I applied to, like, a bunch of different pet stores, and I got an interview with one, but they didn't hire me, and I'm just like, Dude, I have retail experience. I've kept every kind of pet except for reptiles. What else do you want?
I'm not sure how the proportions here are looking.
Yeah, I think the body looks kind of twisted. Like, maybe move the torso forward.
I think it looks kind of twisted too, but I think that's partly because just because of the way that the arms are traced.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it does make it look like it's like puffing out its chest, which is not how this is going to be in the end. Because
maybe move one of the arms like. Yeah, Ozzy, I don't know if maybe it was the amount of money. I mean, I would be okay with them paying me minimum wage because it would just be on top of getting SSDI. I mean, right now I'm thinking like I might try and learn more about saltwater and reef fish tanks, and then like start like a tank cleaning business. / pet sitting business in my local area, because I know that's a thing some people will do where they go to businesses that have fish tanks. At least I would do this once COVID is over and be like, yo, pay me and I'll clean your fish tank every couple weeks. But I don't know if maybe I'd be stepping on someone else's toes in the area. I know there's like an aquascaping business in the area, so I wouldn't want to be, directly competing with them.
I don't know. I mean, this is capitalism. Competition is how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but
Not that it is capitalism is like the way it should be, but that's the system we have to operate under. So
yeah. I'm also thinking of this isn't this wouldn't be like a income source, at least not unless it took off. I was thinking of starting a YouTube channel where I get my mom to play board games with me. Because I've been doing that. Like I've been like, oh mom, let's play this, and some of it she understands, and some of it she's like, no, I don't get it. But I mean, back when my dad was around, we used to want to start like a comedy YouTube channel together.
Really?
Yeah. He had like, this was before prank channels really took off, and he had this idea for like a sort of like half prank channel and half like just my dad and I like sitting around shooting the shit, where I'd like show him my magic cards and he'd do like improv comedy based on the art, stuff like that. But he wanted to do, I think he called the skit, Wherever You Go, There You Are, where he would just be in like the grocery store and he'd be on his phone just talking, having like a really loud conversation, and we film people's reactions. But yeah, that would have been fun.
Well,
but yeah, I'd love to do something with my mom.
Yeah, and if as long as you're doing it for fun and not for profit, I can highly recommend doing YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be planning on doing it for profit. Like, maybe get a little extra income if it took off.
Yeah, like I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I make about $100 US a month.
Good for me, that's good.
No, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Considering that I have a full-time job and I don't depend on this.
Yeah, exactly. I would not do it to depend on. It would probably just be for like a little bit of savings.
Yeah, it's great as a not quite self-sustaining hobby.
Yeah, like the way I see it, like, if I was gonna do like a gaming with my mom or like gaming with my friends kind of channel, it's like, I don't know if people would want to watch like, hi, I've only been in the hobby for half a year, here's my impressions on stuff, but It could be fun.
Okay, I think that the proportions are looking, and the pose is looking more natural now.
Oh yeah, definitely much better right now.
Yeah. So this is like super bare bones, and there's a lot that I need to work like on top of it.
Yes.
But let me do that. So as you can see, so far the only thing I really changed is like the proportions. I have given it legs. I've made it a little bit taller, and the like shape of the face is a tiny bit different. That's about it.
I would actually make the tail come to a point like in the original.
Okay.
Even if it's not as strong of a point, I think the blobby tail's a little weird looking, the rounder.
Okay. Yeah, I was doing that to be more like the tree kangaroo tail because it's very fluffy. It doesn't, end it in a point.
I just think it doesn't really work without like fluff on it.
Fair. But yeah, I don't have a strong preference there. How's that? Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's
okay.
good. It still retains the roundness, but it looks less like a blob.
Okay.
I like it.
So the other thing, the like major element from Kangaskhan that needs to be preserved somehow is the armor, because if it's not an armored kangaroo kaiju, it's not a Kangaskhan.
Yes.
But the armor, as it is on the original Kangaskhan, it's just like some plates that protrude here and there.
Yeah.
And like the shoulder pads, the epaulets.
Bailey, this is Photoshop. I don't know which version.
Yeah, it's a modern Photoshop, which I think is 2021.
Creative Cloud, or?
Yeah. I have, I need Creative Cloud for work, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried using my mom's for a while, but eventually her password got reset and I gave up. And I was just like, no, I'm just gonna pirate an old version.
So, to kind of hopefully make a little bit more sense, I was thinking, because the tree kangaroo has this kind of very marked difference between the dark back and the light bottom, I think I want to use that so that like the dark sort of is the armor, and then it transitions to the light part. And I'll just quickly draw here how I mean to do that. And I want to make it look like fur, but I wasn't sure if I would make it look like spiky fur. I ended up sketching it on paper here as very round. The tips of the fur are very round, because I wanted to make it a little bit softer. The design as a whole, make it a little bit softer, because it is supposed to be a feminine, motherly design, and I thought maybe making it too spiky would go against that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like the round edges. So
yeah, I'm not a fan personally. I think it's a bit too soft.
Yeah, and Kangaskhan is, despite being a motherly Pokemon, it is not very feminine.
No.
So it's probably not too big a deal if it ends up being spikier than you'd expect. But I think you can see where I'm going with this anyway.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what to do with the head because it's supposed to be like almost like a helmet, right? And so it would have to have something coming down, maybe connecting to the shoulders. I'm not sure.
Maybe like pauldrons, kind of, or like a gorget. I don't know how you say it.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a neck armor.
Is that roughly what I'm drawing?
No.
Okay, then I don't know.
It looks like a wig. It looks like one of those like ye old wigs. Those like powdered wigs.
Oh, yeah. No, I was thinking of like helmets that have like they have the hard part and they have their horns on them or whatever, and then they have like chainmail that goes down.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure that would be like super easy to. Here, let me see if I can find like an image of.
I have not played enough fantasy RPGs. I have played enough fantasy RPGs. I just don't like them.
Suit yourself.
I'm not a big fan of like high fantasy. Like the genre of like Lord of the Rings, for example.
Yeah.
Not a big fan. Doesn't do it for me.
You'd be surprised. I'm not a fan of like very plain high fantasy. Like, I like it when it gets weird, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, as like, when it's very much just like, oh, there's elves and the orcs are evil and this and that, you know? I like it when there's like a little bit of like sci-fi-esque stuff to it, or surreal stuff to it.
Yeah. So, how do you spell the...
I was trying to find a good image of one, but it's,
okay.
I'll type it, it's Gorget.
Gorget. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that, okay.
Yeah, it's like your like sort of neck and, shoulder.
Yeah, okay. That'll probably work. It wouldn't like connect to the helmet exactly, but it could connect to the shoulders.
That's what I was thinking, because if you look at Kangaskhan, it has that sort of like ruffle, like those square ruffles coming off the shoulders.
Yeah.
That look almost like shoulder pads.
Yeah, which I think is what they're supposed to be.
Yes, exactly.
Something like that, maybe going a little bit farther down.
Yeah, I think it's fine like how it is now. But yeah. And maybe like a little bit of ruffle going up into the helmet area?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the helmet itself, what that is gonna look like, but... And I think Kangaskhan's eye needs to be pretty much the same as the Cubone Marowak eye style. Make sure that they are related in that way. What goes on the back of a helmet? maybe it isn't looking armory enough. Which could maybe just be accomplished with, like, getting the color right.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
But... like, I like the way it looks, I'm just not sure it looks enough like armor. So what can we do differently here? If you have a Cubone in the pouch or the Cubone have a Marowak club, it's not going to have a Cubone in the pouch. It's going to have a baby Kangaskhan, which is basically just going to be a simplified, smaller version of whatever we settle on with this. So it won't have bone clubs. It won't have bone elements. I don't think it makes sense for Kangaskhan to have any bone elements. What do you think, Ness?
Maybe like the plated armor elements could be colored bone color? Or similar to a bone.
Yeah, just the color.
Yeah. Just the color of the plated armor elements.
Yeah.
I'm liking how the fur looks. Like definitely the more pointed look is good. I do think one spike on the tail would be
Maybe at the base of the tail?
Could be.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable putting spikes on Kangaskhan than Cubone and Marowak because it is supposed to be more kaiju-like. So no problem with that.
I like its face, it's very cute.
I'm not sure what to do with the back of the head. Just make it the back of the head?
Maybe spikes or fur.
Yeah, Kangaskhan doesn't really have anything. I guess it has the ridge of spikes going the whole way.
Oh yeah, just like maybe like the ridge of spikes could start up from the armor on the head.
Yeah.
Cute. Give it a mullet. That's a Scano.
I think it still needs something else to make the head either more helmet-like, or at least just make it
maybe
more unique.
Extend the helmet part of the head around the eye. So it's a little like Cubone's skull, but it's more like it gives it like eye protection. around the eye and the ear. It is a little like a furry Nidoqueen, but they've got like the same body type.
Yeah, I mean, Kangaskhan basically is not even a furry Nidoqueen because it isn't furry, but it's just like a Nidoqueen cousin.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of love that so far.
I think it looks okay. I guess I would like it more if it referenced a specific style of helmet or something like that.
I mean, I'm trying to think of styles of helmet. Maybe the kind where, like, the eye, like, it's got, like, the part coming down the nose, right? But, like, the eye is, like, okay, so it doesn't go all the way around the eye socket. But you've got the part coming down the nose and the part, like, coming around the eye socket. I can't even explain this.
No, but I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So...
like, there's, like, a cutout from... Okay, I'll wait for you to draw, and then I'll tell you if you're right. I think it was used by, like, the Romans and the Vikings. Yeah, that kind of look.
Okay.
But maybe, like, make it, like, more pointed, or, like...
What does the top of that kind of helmet look like?
The what?
The top of that kind of helmet.
I think it was... I'm not sure. I think it had, like, maybe just a ridge on it. A short ridge. Oh, I like it.
I think it'll probably work a little better once colors are on there, but I'm happy to move on to the next stage with this. Oh, except I do want to put something on the armor to make it more armor-like. Sorry.
There you go.
And of course it needs a baby, but
yes,
the baby needs to... We need to know what the grown-up looks like to be able to figure out the baby, so...
For its arms, maybe, like, have some of that same spiky fur coming off of the elbows. So it would be kind of like, leather gloves coming out of armor, sort of.
On the elbows.
Yeah.
So the hands would be a different color than the, like, biceps. Or not the same, not a different color, but just have that division in terms of the spikes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. So
I like it. It is very. It definitely's got that kangaroo look, but also the kaiju.
yeah, I think I need to fix this foot. Its left foot doesn't look right to me, but that's okay. I can fix that at the next stage because I do want to.
We'll fix it in post.
I do want to look at these three together.
Yeah.
And see what needs to be changed across all of them. So.
I see something cool already. I really like the spikes on Marowak's neck go really nicely with like the fluff on Kangaskhan's neck.
Yeah, then that wasn't even on purpose.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
Okay. So, what are some good ways to make these some good design elements that we can put across all three that on Cubone and Marowak will look, one way, and on Kangaskhan will be a slightly different take on it.
The spike on the base of the tail on Cubone and Marowak that we gave Kangaskhan. Because they also have like a spike on the end of their tail, I think, in like the official Pokemon does.
Mm-hmm.
So that would kind of make sense.
Just a single spike?
Or multiple. Either or.
Yeah, maybe. Hang on. Didac loves the Kangaskhan.
The Kangaskhan is awesome. Ooh, one thing, now that I think about it, we sort of have the opposite problem to Sandslash. Marowak as a Pokemon, very slow. I know you want to do the kangaroo look, but like, maybe it shouldn't be so sleek looking. Because this is like a Pokemon that's like used on Trick Room teams.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It's really slow.
Have we considered stats before? Because
you've considered stuff in the Pokedex.
Yes.
That says a Pokemon is fast. I don't know if we have considered stats. I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to consider the fact that this Pokemon's got like, what is it, like 30, 40 base speed?
Is it really that low?
It's something really, it's like I said, it is a Trick Room Pokemon. It's very low. Yeah. I don't remember exactly how low, but like, it's slow. Let me look this up right now, I'm curious. I don't think it's like 30, but it's slow.
Maybe because the cheekbone
45.
45. Okay.
Yeah, both versus Marowak have 45 base speed. That's
close. So maybe because the cheekbone on Cubone and Marowak is relatively prominent and spiky, maybe we put some spikes in that same section of the helmet on Kangaskhan? Sure.
Like instead of that kind of sleek curved line, it's got like 2 spikes.
Yeah. Kangaskhan's got spikes already everywhere, so that's fine.
Oh yeah, it works. Maybe even give it like a crack on the helmet, just a small one.
Oh, maybe.
Like it's battle hardened, you know?
Oh, and maybe put it where the Marowak has the star thing. That we don't even know what the star is supposed to be, it's just there.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, Julian mentioned putting the star onto Kangaskhan, but we could give like a little scar design.
Yeah, a little dink there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe actually the scar design and just make it more subtle.
Yeah. Maybe like a triangle instead of a star.
I think that's most of what we'd see from this angle anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Should Cubone have something there too? Like maybe it's just a crack that goes from one eye socket to the other?
I like it.
Oh, okay. Let's make sure I'm actually drawing it on the Cubone layer and not on the Kangaskhan layer.
Yeah, Karen, the baby gets tired after it fights.
You're talking about Mega Kangaskhan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't like Mega Kangaskhan at all. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't have a problem with it personally, but it's far from my favorite Mega.
Yeah.
But my headcanon is the baby gets tired. And he goes to bed. It takes a nap.
But it doesn't just like de-evolve. It grows down.
Yeah. A bunch of the mega energy in it, so it jumps out of the thing and it fights, and then it gets sleepy, and it goes back into the pouch. I mean, Mega Evolution doesn't really make much sense in the first place. So.
No, it doesn't. I like a lot. I've said this many times before, but I like a lot of the Mega designs. I hate the idea of Mega Evolution.
I mean, I like both the idea and a lot of the designs, but like Kangaskhan is one of the weaker ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I don't know, if Kangaskhan itself had looked different, I don't think I would have disliked it as much. You know, it's whatever. It's, I don't know, the baby gets powered up, it comes out of the pouch, and then it gets tired and it goes back. I mean, whatever. It's
Since they already have fairly similar patterns, maybe Cubone and Marowak also have some difference of color without anything else. Like it's just a pattern change, but like on their hands and their feet, make them a little bit lighter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Gano, well that would be too different. I love the idea that the baby's the actual Pokemon and the mom is the decoy.
Sharon is really confused lately by the amount of people who want to see Mega Evolution back.
Well, some people liked it. I like it. I like it better. We've already had this discussion.
Yeah.
I like it better than Dynamax. I'd be okay if it never came back, but I think I would prefer it be a constant thing, and they just keep adding Megas, then we get a different gimmick every gen.
Yeah, in terms of like bringing it back along with, or instead of other gimmicks. I don't know. Like competitively, I think I do prefer Dynamax, but I honestly, I don't like the lore of any of them. I don't like the lore of any of the battle gimmicks, and I don't think that we need a battle gimmick. And I would be very happy if they just didn't exist. Like if we got a game that didn't have any battle gimmicks.
I mean, it did give weak Pokemon a chance, Karen. It legitimately made some of them competitive, and now there's Pokemon I can't even bring up into the current gen because they're completely worthless.
Okay, but we've had this exact conversation before. So,
Dynamax does not make them usable. Z-moves did not make them usable. I know we've had this exact conversation, but Karen keeps bringing it back up, and I don't know why he wants to fight me on this every time. Yeah, or they could just change the stats of the Pokemon. Yeah. I mean, I would honestly, like, I would take that. Like, I would go to Game Freak, and I would, like, punch, like, Satoshi Tajiri in the face. And just like
poor guy is barely involved in the game.
I don't care. I'll punch him in the face, and then I'll punch whoever decided to give like Delcatty the lowest stats of any evolved Pokemon in the face, and then punch whoever decided to give Kricketune incredibly low stats in the face. If it's the same guy, I'll punch him twice, and I'll just be wearing brass knuckles that say "Buff Delcatty."
Such violence.
Like, oh my god, I got a shiny Skitty named Gazorpfield, and I don't even play Little Cup. I just really like Skitty and Delcatty.
Okay. Is there anything else here that...
I think they look great.
I'm trying to think of more ways that we can combine, that we can, like, adapt design elements from one into the other. But I do really like the way that Marowak and Kangaskhan are as is, so it would have to be fairly minimal.
I don't think we need to give them any more design elements, like, as long as, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Karen, there can be megas for strong Pokemon. The thing is, megas for weak Pokemon just need to bring them in line so they're usable in tiers with stronger Pokemon. And that worked, you know? Mega Charizard and Mega Venusaur did not make Mega Bayonet and Mega Mawile unusable through their existence. That's a thing. They all need that one.
Okay.
And
so...
I would like a Dunsparce evolution, but I feel like everybody who does like this sleek dragon Dunsparce is like just missing the point. It needs to be fatter and bouncier. Because
it's based on a fat snake.
Yeah, it needs, like, I would love an evolution for it, but it should just be a ball.
It's a fat flying snake or hovering snake, I think.
Yeah, like, okay, give it bigger wings, I'm fine with that, but like don't make it like a serpent, don't make it sleek. Like, I like Twitch is great, but like I feel like that Mega Dunsparce design on Uranium, nah son, that's not Dunsparce.
Yeah.
it's gotta be thick. No, I'm okay if we don't get an actual Bayonet evolution. Like, Mega Bayonet was great. I'm as a Bayonet fan, I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, well, we've had this entire conversation before, but I'm gonna say my part anyway. I'm gonna say my part anyway. My biggest complaint about Megas is that so many of them could have just been regular evolution designs. Bennett is one of them.
But some of them couldn't have been.
No, some of them couldn't have been, but they could have been adapted into split evolutions.
Wouldn't be the same Pokemon.
Who cares?
People who like that Pokemon would.
If that was what was done to begin with, obviously I'm not saying that they should retcon so that, you know, Charizard has 3 split evolutions, or that Charmeleon has 3 split evolutions. No, I don't. That would not be a good idea. But if that's just what had been done from the beginning, I would have accepted that more than a temporary form. I don't like temporary forms. I want my Pokemon to metamorphose, and that's it. Maybe it metamorphoses again, but it can't go back.
Temporary forms, you know, it's personal. It's personal preference.
Yeah, of course. I mean, all of it is.
Like, maybe this is coming from someone who really likes Digimon and doesn't mind that, you know, the Digimon, you know, they're not always the Mega. I don't know. That's...
Yeah, but Digimon also have, what, like, 6 stages and a bazillion branches and so on, like...
And, like, yeah, and, like...
It's just different.
Yeah, like, my favorite Digimon, it's got, like, 3 different Megas, 3 or 4, so, like... And it's not even, like, a popular Digimon, but it's got, like... it Digivolves, like, a bunch of times. And I don't think it even has, like, a proper rookie stage. Yeah, multiple Digimon can Digivolve into the same thing sometimes, you know? And they're inconsistent. I love it anyway. I don't care. I mean, it's goofy. It's fun. My favorite Digimon is like Kawagamon's entire line: Kawagamon, Okuamon, and Grand Kawagamon. That's like when I play a Digimon game. It's always the first one I go for. I want that virus bug. I try to do like full-on insect Digimon teams, so I end up with like my typical team is I'll do like in the Cyber Sleuth games. I was running like the Kabuterimon line, the Kawagamon line, the Diaboromon line, and then I'd also have like Tiger Vespamon in my backup. I busted my ass so I could have Armageddonmon because I like him better than Diaboromon.
You know what's really impressive? None of that means anything to me. None of those names I recognized.
I know. but Kawagamon, he's like the jobber in the beginning of the anime. He's just the red beetle at the very beginning of like the adventure anime who they just beat up because to show how strong the rookies are when they digivolve. And I don't know, he's just a stupid jobbermon, but I love him.
Yeah, there are probably multiples of those. Probably more than one of those I would actually recognize if I saw it. I don't know any of the names. Like, none of the names.
The best part of Kawagamon is turning into Okuamon, not Megatramon. Megatramon is weird. And Karen, I actually wouldn't mind if that was Megas. If it just changed type and ability for, like, powerful Pokemon, and then it, like, changed type and ability and gave a base stat boost to unpopular Pokemon. Like, not unpopular, you know what I mean, weak Pokemon. Like, that would be cool. I like the idea of alternate forms that change, like, what a Pokemon does. Like, whether that's regional forms, or Megas, or whatever.
I don't think at least none come to mind, any temporary forms that I think are well done. There may be some that I just haven't come to mind right now, but yeah.
Oh, Tentomon is cool. I like his voice in the English anime. Yeah, that's the problem with the Rotom forms. It's like there's no reason to ever use like the base Rotom. It's I feel bad. I feel bad for base Rotom. But I guess like it does kind of make sense that like because he's like a poltergeist that possesses stuff without something to possess, he's like not as good. That's it. You know, it is a little sad. It's sad for base
Rotom. I guess Rotom is fairly well done conceptually. Which is what I mean. In case that wasn't clear, where I think the concept of something that changes back and forth is well done.
The cast form's alright.
Oh yeah, cast form's alright. Changes with the weather. But yeah, I generally just don't like the idea.
In both Pokemon and Digimon, the Stag Beetle is cooler than the Rhinoceros Beetle. Which is funny, because I like Rhinoceros Beetles better than Stag Beetles. Gorgeist is a baby, and I love it. It is not much we should do. I always forget how much I love Gorgeist. That's my favorite Pokemon from that generation,
Well, Gorgeist forms are great, but they're not temporary forms.
Yeah.
Which is what I was referring to. Temporary forms. Like, things that you can change from one to the other. Yeah.
Oh, Oricorio. I love Oricorio.
I like the Oricorio forms. I don't know if it drinks nectar and therefore it changes forms.
Yes. Wishiwashi's a great one.
Yeah, Wishiwashi's alright. But yeah, no, with Oricorio, I do love
submarine.
2 of them, but...
It's so good. And then he's this little sad boy, because all his friends are gone. Oh, I love Wishiwashi.
No, I guess the idea of Wishiwashi is pretty good, but it bothers me that in the design of the schooling form, that they don't really look like Wishiwashis.
They're tiny Wishiwashis. They're so small.
Well, yeah, but they're just supposed to be Wishiwashis.
The game not showing scale well really messes with that.
Yeah, that too.
Like, I feel like if you saw like a plain Wishiwashi, you're like, okay, and then it schools and it'd be massive.
Yeah, that would probably help. Yeah. If they were actually shown to scale, that would probably make it way better. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like, think of like what is like a neon tetra or a cardinal tetra versus like a whole school of neon and cardinal tetras. Like,
yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
Like I would love to see like a realistic take on Wishiwashi, both the Wishiwashi's forms.
That would probably be frightening.
I always want to make a usable competitive Zen mode Darmanitan. I think I actually have a Darumaka named fucking Disgrace, obviously FKIN Disgrace, who I'm making into a competitive Zen mode Darmanitan. Oh yeah, Cherrim is cool. I have like a 6 IV Cherrim named Tamaki. And he's actually really freaking good in competitive. like okay, I'm not playing like OU or anything, but like he's surprisingly powerful. Throwing out weather balls.
Yeah, I guess Charm is alright. I'm not a big fan of it overall, but in terms of its concept of why it changes forms, that one works. Similar to Castform.
Oh yeah, Flower Gift is insane with the Sun team. Like in doubles, it's I've killed things I should not have been able to kill with Solar Beam from my Cherrim. Like I forgot exactly what it was. It was something with like stupid good defenses, and I was just like, nope.
Are you
My
planning
Pokemon
on
are so-
participating in the Players' Cup, the
I
version
maybe.
3?
Oh, no, probably not, but, you know, I don't, I typically just, when I feel like it, I play a little bit. I've never gotten to do the matchup I really want, which is, I really want to go up against somebody with a Dracovish with my Arctovish, because I have a mixed, Choice Scarf Arctovish, who is specifically EV'd to be able to outspeed and OHKO a Dracovish.
Nice.
Yeah. It's actually been pretty legit. I really like that. Arctovish is one of my favorites. Gen. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Karen. Hopefully it will.
Yeah, Char made it. Made to made it to the regional qualifier last time. I haven't played either. I didn't play either one of them, but and I did register for this one, so I will play it. But I'm not a serious player. I don't expect to win any battles really. Like maybe a handful if I get lucky with the matchups. But like my team is. And Sharon actually helped me team build, but it's basically I'm only using Pokemon that are in my top 20% of that type per primary type. So if it's Pokemon that I don't like, even if it's one that's super useful, super popular, I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah, I'm that way too. It's like I only use things I like.
Yeah.
And the more popular something is, the less likely I am to use it because I'm a contrarian.
Yeah, well, sometimes I am happy to use a Pokemon even if it is popular.
Yeah, if there's a Pokemon that's popular and I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I used Whimsicott for a very long time.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Because I love Whimsicott's design. I love Whimsicott's and I love Whimsicott's playstyle because I like offense. So Prankster Tailwind is perfect for me.
Tangrowth is very usable, and Tangrowth has become more and more useful as time has gone on. But it's still my favorite, so of course I'm going to use a Tangrowth.
Yeah.
Like every possible team I can cram it into, I'm going to use a Tangrowth. I have multiple Tangrowth.
How does this Cubone look?
Great.
Anything that I need to adjust on it?
Not that I can see.
Okay. I think I need to make this, like, the cheekbone of the skull, I think I need to show its three-dimensionality a little bit better.
That makes sense. Cool. I will be right back. I need to get myself something to drink and feed my cat.
Yes, though, that part is important.
Sorry, I just dropped my mic. I hope that wasn't incredibly loud for everyone.
It wasn't for me, but
And I broke my mic stand.
Oh no!
Well,
I need to prove to everyone that you don't need legendaries. I'm going to become #1 without legends. Except my team does have two legends. The team that I'm actually going to use is the one without Suicune, so I think it is 2. Well, it's Kartana and Galarian Articuno. Yeah. Oh yeah, Didac. I also have anti-legendary bias, but for this team, specifically for the Players' Cup, I allowed myself to use some of the legendaries that I actually do like. Okay, that looks good. I betrayed my own morals. I don't think I betrayed my own morals. Alright. What do I need to do to touch up Marowak? Never really figured out how to make the legs look good. Like the thickness of the legs to make that seem right. I think that's the only thing though. What changes are we making for the design? Well, the overall designs are all done. So I can just show you. So Cubone and Marowak are kangaroos, but that's basically it. That's really the only difference. They are kangaroos, and you'll see more of the color when we put that in.
I hope I didn't kill everyone who's using headphones.
No one's complained.
Yeah, my mic stand broke, so I gotta order another one.
Yikes.
I mean, it's like a little one that goes on my desk, so.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just catching up the people who showed up more recently. So Cubone is done. We just need to put colors on it in a bit. It's a kangaroo. It's a baby kangaroo. It's got a skull. And the bone it's holding is now a rib instead of, I don't know, femur, I guess.
Okay.
Here's Marowak, also a kangaroo, but a more upright one. And it's got some bones on its neck as well. And even though it has the pouch line, it's just a line. It's not actually a pouch. But yeah, Marowak is actually quite similar, except for, well, Cubone and Marowak are both quite similar, except for the change to the anatomy. And I wanted to make sure that Marowak also still looks like it's wearing a skull as opposed to being the mask. And Kangaskhan, a Pokemon that is supposed to be related, but not directly evolving from Marowak. Big, fluffy, kangaroo-esque kaiju. That's basically it. This one is based on a different species, a more distantly related species called a tree kangaroo. But that's it. And this will have the baby, which I just haven't gone to drawing it in yet. But it will have the baby, and it'll just be a miniaturized version of the parent. Marowak has Houndoom syndrome. Its ears are under the skull now.
Time to remember whether I need to order.
Whether you need to what?
Order anything else.
Oh, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're ordering on Amazon, I assume, and you have to reach that minimum.
For the longest time, I tried to boycott Amazon, but with the pandemic, it's just it's impossible.
Oh yeah, no, I basically don't buy from Amazon if I can help it, but sometimes Amazon is the most convenient option. But if it's like,
I mean, oftentimes, like during the pandemic, it is. So.
Yeah. Unless it's books. Books I never buy from Amazon, and you shouldn't buy from Amazon either. Buy from your local independent bookstore.
I don't know what my local independent bookstore here is with the with the pandemic and all. I only had like a year here before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, but if this goes to everyone, if you can order from a local independent bookstore. Often they let you order online, and it is it is much more beneficial than ordering from a giant corporation.
Yeah, it's preferable. Ooh, lion's mane mushroom kit. No, I can buy those at the farmer's market. I don't need my own kit. Yeah, that's like the one thing that I really love about Syracuse is we have the largest farmer's market in the state with the exception of New York City.
Nice.
That's good. Ooh, I could get, I need more paper bedding for my rats. And I can't go to the pet store right now, so at least until like the 14th, so I can get that.
You have pet rats as well?
Oh,
as well as Julie, not as well as me.
She has mice. I have rats. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I have 2 of them. They're named after 2 of the hours from Cultist Simulator, Madrigal and Thunderskin. I just call them Maddie and Thunder. They're both girls, and they're very shy. But I try to take them out, but they're, I tried to handle them more, but they just really don't like being picked up.
Yeah.
But I do my best to get them out.
Yeah.
Let them run
I
around.
mean, we have the same problem with our cats. They don't like being picked up either.
Oh, my cat hates being picked up. One of my friends, Elaine, she tried to pick him up twice, and I'm like, oh my god, Elaine, don't do it. You'll get scratched. Oh, Mr. Orpheus, he's right here. Oh, did your ear get flipped inside out? There you go. He hissed at one of the rats once. And I'm like, oh my god, this thing is like 10 times, like, you're 10 times this thing's size. And you're hissing at it, like, this is not a threat to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny though.
Do they get along?
Like, yeah, Orpheus will sometimes hang out by the cage, and then the rat will hang out by Orpheus, and they'll just stare each other down. I try to keep them away from them though.
I don't know, staring each other down sounds like getting along by my cat standards.
It's preferable to him. Like, when I first got them, like, he tried to stick his paw inside the cage, despite me putting, like, duct tape all around the table, so that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But he put his paw in the cage, and I'm like, okay, no, I'm putting their cage in a different room. And for the longest time, I didn't let him in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And then I let him in the room. Orpheus is really scared by, like, sudden loud noises. They don't even have to be that loud. Like, I could be doing the dishes, and 2 dishes will clink against each other, and he'll run away. So, what happens is, he'll be in front of the rat's cage, and he'll, like, move in a way that startles one of them, and they'll run off into, like, a tube, or underneath their bendy bridge, or into a hammock. And, the hammock swinging or the crinkle tube going will make a noise. And the noise is loud enough that it scares Orpheus, so he'll run away. So they end up just running from each other. And it's kind of funny. Like, I try to keep an eye on them, and if I feel like it's getting a little too predator-prey-esque, I separate them. But really, like, he watches them, they watch him. I think it's kind of funny that it's usually Maddie. Maddie's the more outgoing of the 2 rats. Mm-hmm. So she'll watch Orpheus. She'll be like right up at the front of the cage, and I'm like looking at Orpheus. I'm like, do not, I'll take you away if you kick you out of the room if you do that. But he's usually pretty good about it. Like, I think he is also kind of afraid of them in a sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of Maddie, she is right up on the cage. Oh, I bet you're hungry. You're hungry.
I wonder if there were quadrupedal predator dinosaurs. I'm sure there were.
Probably. My friend Patrick is somewhat helping out. In that I'm gonna consult him for the fossils.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a paleo artist. I think I've mentioned on here before.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he's got like a dinosaurs A to Z book for kids that he's published.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I'm gonna consult him for the fossils. But I could probably ask him. He would probably know if there were any quadruped predators or bipedal.
Yeah, but bipedal herbivores we know about. Or I can think of some, even though I can no longer remember what they're called, but I can think of them.
Oh, those ones with like the big chubby bodies and the big claws and the long necks.
Probably. No, I'm thinking of the ones with like the duck bill. Hadrosaurs, maybe?
There was some kind of theropod, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right name, but...
I don't remember exactly what they were.
Yeah, but quadruped predators that I can't think of any, but like I can't imagine it didn't happen.
Therizinosaurus.
Who now?
Therizinosaurus.
Therizinosaurus. Name doesn't sound familiar, but
they're herbivorous. They had like bird beaks. And these really huge claws.
How is Marowak looking?
Looking so far.
Cool. The headbutters, Pachycephalosaurus. Were they herbivores? I think they were actually. Okay.
Yeah, for Therizinosaurus, I think a big part of why they were bipedal was like reaching treetops. I'm not sure. They're a dinosaur we actually don't know a whole lot about. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Karen. That that Marowak looks so fast. Shed's Marowak.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Yeah, like if this was actually a hack, I would want to go into the base stats and tweak them a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Just drop the attack. So.
How does that little baby look?
It's cute.
I need to clean up the lines, obviously, but.
Baby. I feel incredibly validated by Amazon's recommendations right now. As a transmasculine person, they're recommending me an updated beard grooming kit. I don't have a beard. I can't even grow a beard. and Dr. Squatch's men's soap. It's like, okay, I'll take it.
Clearly, you buy like a man.
I buy like a man. Oh, the baby's so cute.
That's good. No marking on its forehead, of course, because it has not gone through any battles. Ideally.
Yeah, we hope not.
Maybe it mega evolved at some point.
It could have.
But yeah, I think it looks good. Looks close enough to the adult, while still looking like a baby. Which means that we're actually quite close to finishing this. We've got to put some colors on, but other than that, the design is pretty much figured out. I love it when I go into a design having a relatively vague idea of what I want to do, and then it doesn't take as long as I...
Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry.
No worries. I love it when I go into design having a not totally solid idea of what I'm going to do, and then it turns out to be really easy.
It's fun to see that, come together from nothing to a complete concept.
Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, what also happens to me sometimes is that I come in with a really solid idea, but then the like specifics of it take forever to figure out.
Oh yeah.
With Voltorb. Were you here for Voltorb, or was that just Julie?
I was not. That was one of the ones I wasn't here for.
Yeah, so Voltorb took a really long time to get the eyes right. Recently, I did a redesign of Arceus that I also had a fairly solid idea on, but it took a really long time to figure out various parts of the design. Thankfully, the eyes were relatively simple. So, these never quite go the way you expect them to.
Yeah, I can see that might be the case. I mean, even with my own designs, they've been tweaked.
Yeah.
And, it's usually they end up better than my initial design. Part of the process.
Yeah, and I mean, that's part of the advantage of doing it live, right?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
You get to have people tell you right on the spot if something looks right, something doesn't look right, and then you can fix it. You don't end up with like, oh look at this feminine Pokemon that I drew, and then everyone is like, that looks like blackface. Are you sure you want to do that? You know, and then if Game Freak had had that opportunity, maybe we wouldn't have had Jinx, or Jinx would have just been different.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of ways you can do that gal/Ganguro look.
Yeah.
Without making it look like blackface. I am gonna have so much fun with Jinx. I've got like a couple good concepts in my head. I really hope it'll be something that people are satisfied with.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested in what's gonna come out of that one.
Yeah, I hope you guys end up liking it. What are our next? Oh yeah, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee.
Oh, yeah, that's supposed to be mine as well, and
Yeah.
like I would like to work on them, but I also currently do not have any ideas. Besides, don't make them as humanoid. That's basically it.
Well, I'll let you know if I come up with anything.
Okay.
We don't have anyone set up for Rhyhorn or Rhydon or Chansey.
Are those the ones that come after the Hitmons?
No. After Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan is Lickitung, which is Julie's.
Right.
Then Coughing and Wheezing, which you signed up for. Then Rhyhorn, Rhydon, Chansey. Then my next one is Tangela. Then Horsey and Seadra, which nobody signed up for, but I'm open to doing that. Then Goldeen and Seeking, which I think are the next ones that I'm super looking forward to. Because, like, Tangela, I don't know what to do with. I gotta figure it out.
Yeah. But that's one of your favorites, so...
It's hard! It's hard to, like, take Tangela and really tweak it.
I know. When you already like it, that was my problem with Cubone. When you already like it, you're like, what can I do differently that doesn't ruin it?
I've got some concepts of what I do and don't want to change about it. So I think that once we get closer to that point in time, I can do some fun stuff with it.
That's good.
And get it to
Yeah. Coughing and Wheezing, I feel like at some point I had an idea, like a fairly solid concept for them. I don't remember what that was.
No.
So if you come up with something, feel free to take that one on as well.
I don't believe I have anything for it at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe? Well, we'll see.
What's the point of redesigning Rhydon? I don't know. Maybe the point of redesigning...
Really?
Sorry, say that again?
What's the point in any of these redesigns, really, you know?
Well, some of them really need it, or like some of them really do need to look different. Rhyhorn, I do agree that it probably is one of the ones that doesn't need it so much, but I guess what you can do is make it really obvious that it doesn't need to evolve, and that Rhyperior never should have happened.
It's not that bad.
But it is.
It's not that bad. It's okay.
But it is that bad.
Probably the weakest of the Gen 4 evolutions. But it's not that bad. I like that it shoots rocks out of his hands.
But why?
Because it shoots rocks out of its hands, okay?
No, I don't mean why do you like it. I mean, why does it shoot rocks out of its hands?
You don't need a reason to shoot rocks out of your hands.
You do when you're making that as the change to something that didn't need to change. It was perfectly fine as it was.
It was boring. Yeah, Rhyperior just gets more hate than it deserves. Magmortar's great. Don't talk shit about Magmortar. It doesn't have a butt on its head anymore, and it doesn't have a stupid duck bill. It is 100% improved over Magmar. Like, I didn't really hate Magmar in the first place, but like it has a butt on its head and it has a duck bill. And it didn't need either of those things, and Magmortar's just a big improvement.
I don't mind either of those things about Magmar. And I really hate Magmortar's proportions.
It does have silly proportions. It is an egg.
I just
like
I don't like
it has a funny face and an egg shape, but I like it.
Yeah, I don't like Pokemon that have very large bodies on very thin legs, or very small legs, like legs that don't look like they could support it. Sorry?
I just said it's very cartoony.
Yeah. So, I am not a fan of Magmortar.
Yes, I just fed you.
Indigo was my wife was reading something the other day about whether it was safe to give cats tuna water. She was just like double checking. So this is like the water out of a can of tuna.
Yeah.
She was just double checking that it was safe to give to the cats. And the article that she read was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Just don't give them too much, but it's okay because your cat will be grateful for whatever it gets. And we just laughed because that is not our cats, at least.
No, that is no cat. That is none cat.
It's like, I don't know what you've got there, lady, but I don't think it's a cat. Okay, so this foot is the one that's been bothering me. Now, I have to figure out what the hell do I have to do differently. How do I make this look right without it? I was gonna say, how do I make this look right without it looking weird? You know. If it looks weird, it doesn't look right.
Morpheus, don't step on that. That's the power button.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, his foot was very close to the power button
Of the computer, no less.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, it'll turn off the TV or something.
No, you know, there are a couple of different power buttons in here. It could be anything.
Hey Thog, yeah, I actually did look at that short-faced kangaroo in my research. I decided not to use it, but I did actually look at it in my research. What I'm struggling right now is just getting this foot to look right, but I think I'm getting there. Certainly looks better. Do I need to extend it further down?
To me.
Looks right to you?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing looks great.
I feel like it's missing...
The middle toe is a bit off, like the perspective.
Yeah.
Pointing more forward.
Yeah, and I feel like it's missing the heel. Like, the heel needs to be visible somewhere, but I don't know. Like, when I had it more visible, it didn't look right, so...
Yeah, it was a bit too much of a heel. Maybe, like, just a slight...
Yeah.
Yeah, she does look very wholesome.
Well, that's good. Well, I certainly can't tell you.
Yeah, I know. It's just a bit of a pain. I can't even remember what eBay email. Was it Facebook?
I hate it when you're like, I need to reset my password, but I don't even remember what email I used.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, that's my situation right now.
Yeah. Even
like,
worse.
I wanna get my roommate a copy of Wingspan because like it seems like his kind of game. He likes birds. It's a game about birds. He likes card games. It's a game with cards. But, you know, it's hard to find a copy of it for, like, less than, like, $60. And the only copies I can find in, like, the range I would be willing to pay for a gift for my roommate are on eBay.
Right.
So, and it's like, I'll do the bidding game. I'll snipe people. I just, you know, I can't remember my username.
Yeah. The worst for me are places where they don't even tell you if the email that you entered is one that exists.
Yeah, I know.
And they're like, if we have your email in the system, you will get it within a few minutes.
And then you just wait and wait and wait.
Yep.
You're gonna need help signing in. Reset my password. Okay, this is my account. It's got my phone number attached to it.
Good start.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to at least bid on this for my roommate. He has the same birthday as me. It's either the same birthday or the day after.
Oh.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
You just celebrate together.
Nah, he lives in 2 different places.
Oh, okay.
He works in like the Adirondacks. He's doing his thesis on like how rabbits are affected by the climate change, because it's this species of rabbits that its coat changes color during the seasons.
Yeah.
And their coats are changing color at different times, and he's like capturing and tagging and releasing rabbits to see how many of them are like getting eaten and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's also his job, you know, he gets paid for stuff up there. So he's up there most of the time. He's home at like 2 days a week at most. So I'm on my own most of the time, and then he comes home and like orders food or makes food, and then like leaves the next day.
Wow.
And
okay.
I feed his fish. You know, I take care of that. I make sure that the salinity in his saltwater tank is kept at like normal salinity. So we don't see each other a whole lot, but I consider him a friend. He's really cool.
And you consider him a roommate?
He is my roommate. You know, he's got his stuff here. You know, when we get a chance, we play board games when he's not busy.
Yeah.
And he's paying half the rent. I'm using his internet. I pay half, so. He's paying half the electricity.
Wow.
No, he's great.
Seems like a good deal for you.
It's a very good deal. Though, like, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like being, like, alone too much, so I have friends over a lot. Even, you know, it's the same group of people. So with COVID, you know, I mean, right now, the only person I've been having over is the guy who was with me at that New Year's thing, where my friend who was potentially exposed was.
Yeah, the neighbor, right?
Yeah, my neighbor, Laura. Yeah, she was like potentially exposed at work, and then myself and my friend Mark hung out with her a couple days after. So now, like, I'm quarantining, and the only person I've seen since then has been Mark, because we were both exposed at the same time, so it's like,
yeah. Okay, I'm happy with this. It's not perfect, but I don't really.
Good job getting the heel showing without it being too dramatic.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe,
will this Kangaskhan have a male form, or Cubone Marowak as a pre-evolution? Asks Doug. No. So we're not changing any of that. Cubone and Kangaskhan are ready to go as well. We just need to add their colors, which is what we're going to do now. But they are 2 independent families, Cubone, Marowak, and Kangaskhan. So Cubone evolves into Marowak, and that's it. No other relationship. But there are some design parallels between them, basically. So I think I actually missed a bit of Kangaskhan's shoulder. I think it was supposed to have, because it got a little bit confusing over here, but I think it was supposed to have an extra bit of fluff in the back. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. So, let's do their colors. I think mostly it'll be fairly similar to original colors, but actually, yeah, let's start with Cubone and Cubone's colors. Okay. Yeah, I'll start with the originals, because I don't think they need to be drastically different, except for some, like, just pattern changes that we've already established. But, yeah, maybe, like, the a slight difference in tone or something like that. I think I'm going to use the colors from red and green, though, as the basis. You know, Cubone is kind of reminding me of that cartoon, I think it was called Rocko's Modern World or something like that.
Oh, Rocko's Modern Life?
Rocko's Modern Life, that's right. Yeah, but yeah, it reminds me a little bit of that.
Like the main character.
Which, I think that's okay, because if I remember correctly, Rocko was a kangaroo.
That makes sense then, yeah.
Oh, darn, I put the colors on the same layer as the lines, which makes it a little bit harder to edit them afterwards, so hang on. I just have to undo the whole thing. I didn't even watch that cartoon very much. I just kind of remember it, like,
yeah,
being
a
thing.
I never actually watched it, but...
Should they have any sort of dirt or mud marks to make ground typing more evident? You know, I knew this question was gonna come up of like, why are they ground type? And my headcanon for why they're ground type is because bones are associated with the desert, with like that classic image of like a cow skull in the desert kind of thing. So that's how I understand it. They are associated. Bones are associated with the desert, so they are ground type. And I think that's it. It's just like, these are bone Pokemon, and bones are ground type because they are sandy in the desert, I guess. What do you think of the eye color?
I like it.
Okay. I think it's a nice contrast to the orangey brown. So, next up, Marowak. Let's move you over. Yeah, all right. Eye color doesn't sit doesn't sit right with you. Looks weird, but weird, not bad. Connor loves it. Well, if you can elaborate on why it doesn't sit right with you, maybe we can adjust. Why did I leave so many gaps in my lines? I don't even see them. Maybe too saturated, or I think a blue or green might look better. I think purple is the right color, but we can try desaturating it. Probably be that it's a really unexpected color for a ground-type Pokemon. I mean, it's a ground-type Pokemon associated with death. What color should the marking on the forehead be? Just a darker gray, maybe?
Darker gray could work. Brown is also, like a darker brown might also work too, as someone mentioned.
I think the body needs to be a darker brown.
Yeah, I agree.
Than it is
for
now.
Marowak, it's a bit, Ooh, I like what Gano said, like yellowish, like how old bones can get stained yellow.
For the star? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like the brown you're using right now could be the gull marking, and then you can go for a darker brown.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, obviously it's your call, but
yeah, no, I'll try it.
Just some suggestions.
Yeah. I like that because then it adds that extra parallel to Cubone as well. Mm-hmm. It keeps some more of Cubone's color. Yeah, I think that works.
I think it looks pretty great.
And
Kangaskhan looks awesome too.
Sorry?
The dark brown looks awesome too.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna try it a little bit darker, or not a little bit darker, probably a lot darker. I'm gonna try Alolan Marowak's color, but it's purple, so I'll just hue shift it into brown. Yeah. I do like that.
Show up for me. Ooh. I do kind of like that. I think maybe you should tweak the lighter color on its body.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the dark brown. I just think maybe if the lighter color was a bit darker, it might work better.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
right now there's a very strong contrast between them, and I'm not sure I'm down with that.
Maybe too much, but maybe not.
Something in between, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, something in between the two.
Oops. Normally I use keyboard shortcuts, but this time, because I wanted to fill with 50% the opacity of the color, I opened the actual fill menu, and then I forgot to change it from content aware to the actual color. Yeah, that works. That looks pretty good, I think. And it gives a nice contrast for the...
Oh, yeah.
It gives a nice contrast for the bones as well, which can probably be a little bit lighter, but it's going to be shaded. It's going to be mostly white anyway, so...
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I really like those colors.
So, Kangaskhan. There's probably lots of gaps in here as well. Yep. I'm wondering if the color of the top of the color of the helmet should be darker, like the helmet part, the like solid part of Kangaskhan's head.
Yeah, I think so.
At first I made it like
from just the regular body.
Yeah. And maybe the one on the neck too?
Yeah. Yeah, Gano brought up making the baby lighter. Like, I know I mentioned that before. Just like not it doesn't have to be purple, obviously, but just like a lighter color.
And yeah, I'll try that in a moment.
I gotta move my car before the cops come by, because I have to move it to a different side of the street at 6 o'clock every day, which sucks.
Oh, well, that's annoying. Yeah, okay.
Very annoying, yeah.
I like that. I like having what would be the darkest part of the baby actually be the lighter brown and the intermediate color of the adult. So I think I'll keep that and not give the baby like a really dark head. But this can probably be a little bit lighter still, although I might want to make the yellowish part of the parent darker as well. I think it needs to be less saturated. Yeah, is really it. Needs to be like maybe a bit darker, but more importantly, less saturated, less yellow. And I drew that circle there because I actually want to make it a tiny bit pink. Okay, that pink is too purple. Better. I like that. What do you guys think of the coloration? And the color of the baby's eye is going to be the same, but I filled it in before, so I'm not going to be able to easily... Actually, I'll just do it on a separate layer. It's fine. The decoy body. Yes, the twin sister. Twin sister is accurate. Yeah, I think this looks really good, but I'm not totally sold on the colors of the body. Oh, whoops! I put the dark color on the wrong layer. Now they are actually on almost entirely. Okay, got them separated again. Good. So yeah, I'm not totally sold on the colors. Maybe I actually do want everything more saturated. Maybe just a tiny bit darker, but yeah, I think I like that better. Slightly stronger colors. I think Kanga tail could be a tad less rounded. Even less rounded? Because we already unrounded it a little bit.
What'd I miss?
Kangaskhan's colors.
Looks good?
Unless you think it should be different, but I'm actually quite happy with the way it looks.
I think it looks fine.
Cool. Gano was suggesting making the tip of the tail even less rounded. I don't have particularly strong feelings about that, so I can taper it more.
Good shot. Sorry if I'm breathing heavy. I just ran back from the car.
Actually, need to make sure I include the tip if I'm supposed to be making it more pointy. How's that?
I like it. Like, I like that you're keeping the roundness, but the tapering definitely works.
Okay. Does the color of the baby work for you?
I might make the brown lighter too, but I like the lighter,
Well, because the parts that are showing up are mostly the parts that would be the darker brown.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I needed to say.
I'm pretty satisfied with it overall.
Oh,
like,
what I need to do is put a tiny bit of pink on the baby's face, just like I have on the...
Yes, you're right. Just like the mom.
Yeah. Maybe even a slightly larger proportionally area of pink, because it's a baby. Yeah. Gano is satisfied, I'm guessing, with the tapered tail. And so there's all three of them.
Nice. They look great.
Oh, come on. Why aren't you... Oh, I was like, why can't I move Cubone and Marowak separately. It's because I accidentally put the Cubone inside of the Marowak group. That was not what I meant. There you go. Yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I'm excited to see how it'll look once I clean up the lines and do the shading and everything.
Yep. Yeah, no, they're really solid designs.
The one that I'm actually like not as happy with is actually Cubone.
I feel like it's just not as cool as the others, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Gano asks if Kangaskhan should have a pupil.
I don't know. Should it?
I have no preference.
We can try. We can put one on there. Obviously, it's going to have like an eye shine kind of thing. So, and they all will. I only drew it on Cubone because I don't think Cubone will have a pupil. Think I'd like it without the pupil.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, pupil works just fine on the other two.
Sounds good.
Cubone pupil-less is okay. All right. Well, it's not even that it's without a pupil. It's just that you can't see it because it's dark. But all right, save, and I will try to finish it by this time next weekend, which should be doable.
Good.
All right.
The black pupil, I think, looks the best.
Sorry?
I think the black pupil looks good.
Okay. Should I try it on Cubone as well?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, I think it looks okay without a pupil, but I'd like to see it with a pupil, just so they have a,
I'll probably adjust to the actual placement of the pupil, but...
I like it with the pupil.
What does everyone else think? With as well?
They got more personality that way. Like Anna said.
Okay, I will keep the pupil then. I might place the eye shine on the other side, but
either way, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That'll be for shading time anyway. Cubone without pupil loses some of OG Cubone's cuteness. Okay, we definitely want to preserve that. That's important. Well, that's it then, I guess.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for hanging out with us and helping me work these out. I think all three of them look really good overall. So next one is supposed to be Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, is that right?
Figure it out.
Yeah, I'll pull it up just to be sure. Yeah, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. And then it's Lickitung, which is by itself. And I was thinking that it would be a good idea to pair up all of the single stage Pokemon with something else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Rather than do what we did with Onyx and do like just the one Pokemon. So I don't know if Lickitung would make sense to do with Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, or maybe pair it with Coughing and Wheezing, or even leave it for later.
Chansey.
Yeah, pair Lickitung with Chansey.
Or Lickitung, Chansey, and Tangela.
Yeah, we're not doing it in perfect Pokedex order anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So...
we could do, like, Lickitung, Chansey, Tangela, and then Mr. Mime, Scyther, and Jinx, Electabuzz, Magmar, and Pinsir, Tauros, Lapras, and Ditto, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like there's, like, a good... We could do 3 or 2 at a time.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So let's say Lickitung, Chansey, and Tangela. And since Julie is doing Lickitung and you're doing Tangela, I'll do Chansey.
Nice. Remember, you can't put a red cross on it because that breaks the Geneva Convention.
I don't know what you're referencing.
Okay, you're like, there's not supposed to be like red crosses. I think this is like, it breaks some kind of code to put a red cross on something that's not like a medical like aid place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so...
like there was this game news, like I think it was last year or the year before, where it was like Stardew Valley no longer breaks Geneva Convention because they had like a red cross in front of the medical center. So like, and Stardew Valley is like a super like chill and friendly game.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh shit, what'd they do? But no, it was just a red cross.
Just a joke, probably.
Yeah, no, they weren't even trying to break the Geneva Convention. They should change the color of the cross in front of the doctor's office.
Okay, so I shouldn't put a red cross on Chansey.
Yeah, just don't. That's all I'm saying. Don't break the Geneva Convention.
All right. Yeah. Okay, but we'll do Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan next month. On what day is that gonna be?
Saturday, second Saturday, first Saturday.
Second Saturday, which makes it February 13th.
February 13th. Wait, I might have a. My call with my psych is on the 12th, and even then it takes like not too long. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we need to change it to like the 20th, that's fine with me.
No, I should be fine. Like I said, my psych call is on the 12th. So.
Okay. So. Yeah, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. I will try to come up with something. I do have one solid idea for Hitmonlee. I just need to figure out what to do with Hitmonchan.
It's just Jackie Chan. It's just a photo of Jackie
Chan. Maybe. Yeah,
it could be like that Fakemon I made where it was just Jerry Seinfeld's head on a bee. That was for Crap Brown.
Perfect.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Hey,
actually, I'll put my name
it's the
down.
End of the stream, but you can, once this is up, you can go back and rewatch it. So the final design's up on there.
Okay. That's it. So February 13th for Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye. Are you gonna say bye? No? Okay. Bye.